The Mandalorians were amongst the most prestigious warriors in the galaxy. They fought against the Jedi, Sith and Republic alike. However, what happens when rogue Jedi decide to turn their back on the Order of Galactic Peace and join the ferocious Mandalorian Crusaders? During the Great Sith War, Jedi Master Dorjander Case was captured by the Mandalorians under Mandalore the Indomitable. For the remainder of the war, he was in captivity where he fell in love with a young Mandalorian crusader named Vada, who was expecting their child until she was killed during a Republic bombing run orchestrated by a Jedi captain. Eventually, the war came to an end and the prisoners were returned. Dorjander returned to the Jedi Order and eventually took a seat on the Council. But 20 years later, the Mandalorians had risen again to prominence under Mandalore the Ultimate, and the Mandalorian Wars had begun. They declared war on everything in the galaxy. Now, initially, the Jedi stayed out of the war between the Republic and Mandalore. However, Revan had other plans. He led a splinter group of Jedi to the Republic front lines to fight Mandalore's forces. So officially, the Jedi didn't send anyone to the war. However, they accepted and even supported Revan's actions. And this would not sit well with Dorjander. During his capture, Vada had taught him the ways of the Mandalorians, and he'd become indoctrinated into their culture. Over time, he began to see the Republic as corrupt and that the Jedi were nothing more than tools. He believed that the galaxy would be better off under the Mandalorians with Jedi insight, and this outspoken view had him thrown off the Jedi Council and promptly replaced. For this reason, the Council were incredibly shocked to discover Dorjander and 3 of his followers of like-minded Jedi joined Revan's cause and travelled to the front lines to fight the Mandalorian invaders. However, everything was not as it seemed. Secretly, Dorjander had plotted with Mandalore the Ultimate. He would depart to the Republic front line in a ruse. They would turn on the Republic before heading to the Jedi Enclave on Dantooine. Here, young Jedi Knights were trained in the ways of the Force. Dorjander's plan was to kidnap these children and raise them to be both Jedi and Mandalorian, an ultimate fighting force, and Mandalore agreed. During the Battle of Essin, he tricked the Republic forces into believing that the Mandalorians had been wiped out in a barrage on a local forest, before surrounding the entirety of their forces with the aid of the Mandalorians. He then conscripted all captured Republic troops into the Mandalorian army, and those who refused were used as slaves. The Mandalorian Knights donned specialist Mandalorian Neo-Crusader armor and wielded orange-bladed lightsabers. They are also equipped with blasters and countless other effects, such as jetpacks and grappling cables. They were incredibly efficient at fighting, especially when backed by legions of Mandalorian troops. However, most Mandalorians didn't agree with them on the battlefield. They believed Mandalorians fight with blade or blaster or hand, and thought that there was no place for mystics within their ranks. Many still had a great deal of bad blood with Force users following the Great Sith War, which occurred only 2 decades before. Eventually, Dorjander, backed by a small legion of Crusaders appointed to him by Mandalore himself, turned off the Dantooine Enclave's communication arrays, ensuring that they couldn't request help. They then struck out. The Mandalorians came from the sky. Using their jetpacks, they grabbed as many younglings as they could. They were specifically ordered not to use blaster fire to avoid hurting them. Meanwhile, the Knights dealt with the Jedi staff, locking them in the convening chamber. Luckily for the Jedi, before they could be taken to the Mandalorian Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight Zane Carrick, accompanied by a Republic crew disguised as Mandalorians, managed to apprehend the Mandalorians and the Mandalorian Knights before they could escape. During their trial, Dorjander and his Mandalorian Knights stood by their actions. It quickly descended into a pro-Mandalorian publicity stunt, where they openly condemned the Republic and Revan's actions in the war. But this was the end of the Mandalorian Knights. They could have potentially been one of the most lethal legions of warriors in the galaxy, but it was all cut short due to Jedi intervention. But what do you think of the Mandalorian Knights, and what would have happened if they'd have succeeded? As a quick announcement, if you like Mandalorians and think they're as badass as I do, then I have some good news for you. This entire week, Monday to Sunday, is Mandalorian week. New videos every day on a different subject surrounding the Mandalorians, so don't forget to have that bell ticked to stay up to date on them. Also, don't forget to like, sub and share if you enjoyed, as it really helps the channel grow and it's really appreciated. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at TheLoreGuy for regular updates. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.